It's time to gather up Gotchard, episode 7. Last week, we've been talking about how the show's been kind of like dealing with empathy, and this episode really goes out of its way to continue to show that idea. As we open up, just on the status quo of them just running around searching for chemis, and everyone's just kind of like they're living in the moment, and it's like Hotaro is doing his unconventional thing, and the established students are all just like, Hotaro, that's not gonna work. Hotaro succeeds, and they all go like, how do you get this to work? And it's just fun, you know. It's a fun little gag. It's a fun little moment. They capture the crab guy, and yeah, they're able to do all that kind of stuff. And they're having a little get together back at Hotaro's family's restaurant, and they're just kind of like chatting about and going like, oh, who gets credit and all that kind of stuff because it's part of their grade. That's cute. As a young boy shows up with a cactus chemi and goes like, hey, can you guys deal with this? Is this something you guys deal with? And it's revealed that he saw them catching the crab chemi at the beginning of the episode. As evil people are making an evil monster, they're trying to talk to the kid, going like, "Hey, what's the deal with the Kimmy?" And he goes like, "Yeah, well, I found him, but my dad wants me to focus on studying, so I need to go find the I can't have this guy. I need to study." And Hotaro is just immediately like, "Right, sure, right." He gets pulled away by Rine, and they have a conversation of like, "Hey, come on, he can't be friends with a Kemi. That's not part of the rules. We have to erase his memory." And he's just like, "Come on, you can tell the kid is friends with it. They want to be friends. Come on, is there not a thing we could do about this?" And she's just like, "Dude, come on, you know the rules. God damn it, fine." All this kind of stuff. As the other duo sucks up the cactus, and Hotaro goes to find the young boy and just have a conversation about that whole kind of thing. And it's just like, hey, do you really not care about that dude? And it's just like, yeah, my dad wants me to get rid of him. The kid always focuses on, my dad wants me to get rid of it. My dad doesn't want it, you know. Always focusing on what his dad wants, not what he wants. And Hotaro brings that up as just like, because the kid is doing the best grades at his cram school. It's like, oh, that's impressive. That's cool. But like, do you want to do that? And he's like, my dad wants me to be good at school. And it's like the kid is only talking about what his dad wants and not what he wants. And Hotaro's catching on that. He hasn't said anything about it. But we do see the kid's dad come up and sees Hotaro being chummy with him and the kid not studying, and he freaks the fuck out because he has amalgam power right now. And he's like, God damn it, my son needs to be studying. And he starts firing because like he's full of just not understanding and full of just like my way highway ideas. And he starts firing on Hotaro specifically, trying to get Hotaro away. Hotaro saves the kid, and he goes like, oh shit, something's happening, I need to figure out what's going on. He calls the alchemy school, he gets the soft quiet guy, and he's like, shit, I can't talk. My tablet's not working. Spanner shows up and goes like, tell me what you need to say, I'll say it for you. Spanner is seemingly becoming more and more of like, I wouldn't say a good guy, but he has his like heart of gold moments. And it's interesting to see how those heart of gold moments are contrasting with his very flippant attitude. And like, maybe it's just understanding that some people communicate in different ways. That's another thing that is really interesting in being brought up. And it's really kind of cool as a neurodivergent person watching this, of we have several different characters that have certain requirements and no one makes fun of them, no one bats an eye at that. We have the guy who's very quiet, very soft-spoken, and he talks through the tablet often because it's easier for him. Everyone's just cool with that. And then you have Rene being very, very overwhelmed. This is probably the better way to put it, in the restaurant, and the friends just in the alchemy friend is just like, hey, it's okay, don't worry, I got you. Just go get us a seat. You know, that's just neat to see that they're. I wouldn't call it like neurodivergent representation, but it is neat to see this kind of empathetic mindset being in the characters. Again, empathy is a big part of the show so far. But he talks to Spanner and the quiet guy for a moment, and he go like, okay, it's probably a dragonfly amalgam? And goes like, and Hotaro goes like, oh, dragonfly. He looks up in the sky and goes like, okay, cool, I see the dragonfly. He henshins, he tries to get up to it, can't, and goes like, alright, I need to be able to fly. He pulls out the Hawk guy he got recently. He's like, okay, Hawk, you got this number. What card do I have nearby that has that number? Oh, wait a second, I have the cactus. Hey, cactus guy, you want to help me out? And the cactus goes like, yeah, I'll help you out. My buddy's being hurt. Right? So he henshins, creates a new, cool new form, gets wings, goes up, starts fighting the guy, and I think the cactus recognizes that the amalgam is the kid's dad and doesn't want to fight the kid's dad. And so Hotaro de-henshins in the air and is falling to the ground as we end this episode. A lot of this is just really focused on the kid is going like, is sacrificing what he wants for what he believes is like, for what his dad says he needs to do. And we see the dad being taken over by this anti-empathy by the evil people, becoming amalgam, trying to impose his will and his desires onto the kid. And it definitely feels like one of those kind of, you need to have conversations, you need to trust other people, and you need to be empathetic and all that kind of stuff. And overall, this was a really, really good episode. All the characters were fun. I'm loving the interaction between our two main leads and our two main supporting characters. I love them as supporting characters. They're fun, they're engaging, they're neat to have around. And like I said, the soft-spoken guy, no one's batting an eye. It's just a character trait of his. Like, you could have made him mute and would have been the same thing, but I think they're trying to be like, oh, he's very, very shy, very, very introverted, all that kind of stuff. But he is engaging with them, and they're actively engaging in a relationship with him, and that's fun. The new form looks cool. It looks really neat, spiky. It's like, ooh, it's kind of cool. It's golden-ish. But I just gotta ask just more about, like, what is going on entirely with the alchemy school and the evil women, because it just seems like there's too many questions being raised of just like, what is the motivations of all these organizations? What is the purpose of them? Is there more at play here than we originally thought? Is that why Renee's dad kind of abandoned and like became a traitor, because he like found out the alchemy school's real motivations? Like, is that something that's gonna happen? Overall, really good episode. No, it's also really good. Social media accounts, you can follow me everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Tumblr, Blue Sky, Mastodon. Links to all those are in the description. You can also like, comment, and subscribe to my channel right here, and you can get more videos like this and video essays every once in a while. Hey, hoo-hoo. And if you like these videos of me talking about Kamen Rider every week, I do the same thing over on my Patreon. I've been talking about Blazar, so if you want to hear my thoughts on Ultraman Blazar, go support my Patreon. As low as $1 a month will get you access to weekly exclusive videos, podcasts, and other types of content. Keep an eye out for those kind of things. But we have one last thing to do. We have comments. Hey, hoo-hoo. First up, from Purple is Peak for Real. for real. Very nice episode showing off just how cool Spanner is, which he is, and I love the fact Spanner gives zero fucks about anything and everyone. And the new Gotchard form is once again amazing. All of Gotchard's suits are top heavy, but I don't care, I adore them all. So far, Gotchard might actually be my second favorite or favorite rider designs in all of Rider. Overall, 7 out of 10. Spanner is definitely showing that he has some like questionable motivations. Like we don't know his full breadth, but like last episode and this episode, you can tell he has a heart of gold. You can tell that eventually Hotaro's gonna break him down, and he's going to be like a full in and out good guy, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, I mean we've been wrong before. But he is a fun dynamic for the show, especially because the show is dealing with empathy and like understanding other people. And what better rival counter to that by having a person that is very hard to empathize with, very hard to understand, you know? Yeah, and all the suits in this season have been really good. No, they are, I wouldn't say cheaper, they are budgeted. They are a little top heavy, and like the Amalgams all share base bodysuit. But I think they look good. They look really cool. And yeah, they definitely feel a little top heavy, especially coming out of Geats, where by the end of that season, most of the suits were very top heavy, mainly due to the fact that it was probably just easier to work and maneuver in. And honestly, I can totally understand for like Kamen Rider suit designs of, hey, you need to be running around doing stunts. It's probably easier to like maintain balance and control of your body if it's all the weight's on your chest and your arms versus on your legs and things are just wobbling about and you're not sure where things are going. So I can totally understand why Kamen Rider designs would go more top heavy. But I don't think it's so top heavy that it's distracting for Gotchard. Next up from Fish Pop. Oh hey, we got to see Ant Wrestler Wild form. Don't know what the purple food blob was. I like how the Amalgams merged with the Kemi in unconventional ways. Salty Guy needed to be humbled. Gorilla Pepper was cool. Yeah, Gorilla Pepper is cool. Gorilla Pepper, like, I don't think there's been a bad Gotchard form yet. And yes, Wild forms are the official name. But come on, PNG forms are very, very funny. And I know you weren't trying to correct me, Fish Pop. It's just, I think they're funny. I think PNG's a funny idea. And it looked like what the recipe he was making was omurice. But I know in anime and Japanese media in general that purple food is often like shorthand for like bad food. Like, oh, it got burnt and cooked and weird, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like all the bad recipes in the current Legend of Zelda games, you know? Yeah. And finally, from Esconde, it's hilarious that Spanner insults Hotaro's cooking, but still ate the food. He may be a hater, but he has standards on certain things. I love how dedicated he is to being a hater to Hotaro, while being polite to people who aren't him, especially him being polite to Hotaro's mom and complimenting her establishment. While the Street Fighter movie thing does sound like something Spanner would do, some people brought up another possibility, which I find interesting. What if Spanner had his memories of the guy he defeated during the exam by the Alchemy Associated, like, erased? Hooray for more motorcycle scenes. Was great seeing Hotaro's assist with the Steam Hopper Fever to give Spanner the boost he needed to close the altitude gap with that Valverad's Geki copter arm couldn't clear. And with Beverly's Rising Fighter playing in the background, love that song. Also dig Burning Gorilla's finisher, making a flaming fist of stone. Yeah, it is really cool to see Gotchard and Valverad already working together, even though, like, ideologically they're separate. To me, it feels very much like Valverad is, hey, I'm not gonna not use your help and assistance. I am going to brag on you constantly because I don't think you're worthy of it, you know? Like, I think that's the big thing, is he's like, I know what the power of that belt is. You're a dumbass. I'm gonna use you, but you're still a dumbass. Also, real quick, is that helicopter arm, is that reused from Geats? It's okay, Toei, if you can tell us it's reused from Geats. I just think it'd be funny. So glad we're getting more motorcycle scenes. It's so good. Please. I got unreasonably excited when I noticed that Spanner uses a rebel. That was fun. And you know what? The erasing the memory idea could work, especially with the fact that when they did catch up to the guy, he wasn't in the alchemy academy anymore. So they were like, "Oh, okay, mind wipe you." Maybe they mind wipe Spanner because they were supposed to at that time mind wipe that guy, and he ran away before they could do it. Like maybe that was like do or die. If you don't succeed, you don't get to be an alchemist anymore, which I think would be a very dumb thing to do. But I'm just spitballing here. Yeah, no, Spanner just kind of being Hotaro's #1 hater, I think is cool because like it'll also like motivate, like it's already shown it's gonna motivate Hotaro to like be a better hero, be a better alchemist, be a better Kamen Rider, you know. And the idea that Spanner spurning that on technically is kind of hilarious. It's like, no, I hate you. Why are you doing better? Well, because I want to spite you. No, fuck you. But overall, all of this is good. All of Gotchard is on a roll. Nope, that wasn't good. But hey, remember, like, comment, subscribe, do all those kind of things. Support me on Patreon. Just like the people that you'll see in just a moment. Look at their names. They support me on Patreon. And in the meantime, I hope you have a good week.